Hello and welcome. Today we're taking a good look at the Guardians of the Galaxy ship. Now this is set number 76193. As normal, what we'll do, we'll rip the box artwork open, have a look at the instruction manual, how many bags it's got. Obviously then we'll get the thing built, and then what we can do at the end of the video is compare it to that thing just there for scale and size. So this box is a cut, not a push, so I'll put you over to the side, and then as normal we'll open them up, rip them open, see all of the insides. There are a lot of bags on this one and a very heavy chunky booklet now. But first thing first, obviously this ship is taken from the Infinity Saga from the Marvel Studios. So it is a Lego set number, again, 76193. It's a 14 plus set. It is the Guardian ship and it is a absolute beast of a box. I managed to pick this up in a sale, which I'm happy about. You can see all of the different minifigures across the bottom. You've got Rocket, Star-Lord, Groot, Mantis, Thor, and the villain as well. And then that is the side flap. So if it was on the shelf on the side, that is exactly what you would see. And then on the other side, if it's like the other boxes, they are just black. This one though does have the number of the set, so if it was on the shelf side on, at least you know what you are looking for. Now on the reverse of the box, you have obviously, like some of the others, on a nice stand as well, so we can see what we can do with this one, because this one almost looks like it twists compared to the last ship that we have done. Coming over and round and down, you have then got some other scenes from the film as well. So you've got Groot in the back, and then you have Thanos making himself a cup of tea and having a donut. And then you've got some other little bits and pieces on the back as well. So it looks like there's lots of bits and pieces that we can do with this. And then obviously we should be able to open it up and take a good look at on the inside. It's a little bit awkward to get some photos. What I'll do is I'll just do some filming updates as I build on this one. So it does look like there is a crazy amount of bags included within. Hopefully they're all small number bags. There'll only be 1 4, for example, and then 1 7. There for 6. I will find the instruction booklet. I will use both hands. There it is, just there. And actually that was bag number 1 as well. So we get this thing ripped open so we can take a good look at the inside. Sticker sheet is first thing to fall out. So with regards to the sticker sheet, we have got 11 different numbers, starting in the top left, finishing in the bottom right hand corner. Bottom right hand corner is number 11, and then that is a little bit of an Easter egg, number 11 by the looks of it, for the sticker that is included on that, but we'll go over that in a little bit. Now again, it seems to be that all of the bigger ships like this, they all seem to come with really nice detailed booklets, so hopefully this will be no exception. I lie. Straight in. Right, so you've got bag, it's even on the inside page in this one. I can't jinx myself anymore. So bag number 1, 2, 3, you've got those bits on the inside, and it comes with the 2 minifigures. 4 and 5, you've got the rest of the sort of hull in the middle. Then 6, 7, 8, we start adding on the wings. 9, 10, and 11, we add a little bit more length. 12, 13, 14, we add on the rest of the bits and pieces. Then we have, so it's actually done in a completely different order, this one. So it's actually giving us the bag order first. I thought you were going to go straight into the build. Now you've got some bits and pieces with regards to how you use a brick separator, where you can use your QR code to do all the online instructions. That is a big thing I think Lego are going to be pushing, because I have seen, and rumours are, that they will at some point be getting rid of instruction booklets for certain series first. And it's already started with a brand new Bricklink set. So keep your eyes peeled on that for the future. But here we go. So number 6, bag number 1, and that's how we start. And you start with Star-Lord himself. And as normal, what we'll do, we'll skip all the way over to the end. I really hope they have added in the other sets that came out at this time, because there was a few of them. Again, you've got all of the pieces, and yes, they have on this one. So what do we have to pick from? So we've got the Guardian ship, then we've got the Endgame battle. That is one of the sets that I would like to get my hands on, which is set number 76190. So if you can recognise that from the Iron Man film, that was a cool looking set. And then up at the top, we have got the Black Panther set from 76186. So it's always nice to see the sets when they're out and about, especially when you pick up one of the sets. It's really easy to go, yes, I'd like that, to get the SKU number, and then you can hunt it down on the secondary market. And it's just good marketing for Lego themselves. Now, 247 pages until it is on the very last step. It connects obviously on page 246 for the stand, step number 486. So if we come through, it does look like it does twizzle round with regards to the bits and pieces on the ship. We get past the stand where the wing finish, so it does look like it finishes building the ship on step 454, page 224, so it is a very, very big booklet indeed. Right, this thing is absolutely massive. The wingspan, the length, everything. So we've got all the minifigures and everything sat out the front. They will be pushed over to one side at the moment. They are nice and detailed, but what I will do is I'll have to do it on the angle just because this thing is so big. But there's also a lot of things that go on, so I do need two hands. Now you've got the bit that opens up at the front to start with. That is where you can see you can fit a minifigure in there, absolutely no problem. And you've got these nice sort of pinky bits at the front as well. You've got really nice purple cockpit as well. So there's a lot of bright colours to this, which I didn't really think there was. I just really spotted all of the oranges and greys. But on the inside, there's a lot of detail, which I will rip it all back open for you to see. But you can see you've got the chair, and you have got the sort of handles just on the side. And you've got these nice details here, just sort of on the struts. Now, if I shut this down just for a second to try and rip this open, if any of the bits fall off, they fall off. It doesn't matter, does it? So if I get you up at the angle, some of them are easy enough to get off. So like this bit at the back, that just pings off. And then that leaves you with that bit. But then I do believe you get that bit off first. This bit then should just come off as well. And then if we open the bit at the front again, you can then see all the way down, so it gives us some nice lighting. So you can see how you can get some nice photos from this, depending on where you put the minifigures in there. You will be able to stand the minifigures up and potentially sit them down as well if you want to. And obviously we saw at the very, very start of the box, you can sort of recreate some of the scenes. So you've got the donut on there, you've got the coffee on the side, and there are some other bits and pieces going on there. So I'm trying my best to get the camera in, because it is difficult with the bit at the front. I'd have to rip the whole thing off, which is not going to happen. It's absolutely impossible. And this camera does not have a zoom, but hopefully it's coming through clearly enough. You can see where the characters can sit, and they're doing all the different bits and pieces within, but there is lots of details within it. So you can see just down on the side here, you've got all these little bits and pieces that you have to put in individually. So if you wanted to get some photos from this, you can do quite nicely. And you can see just underneath the wing here, just how much detail there is on everything. And you start paying attention to all of the bits and pieces. It's all layered. You can see all the curves and how you've got to build everything. So it's actually very, very impressive. And it is one of the sets actually that I put together in one sitting. I did this in one day. I haven't done that for a set in absolutely ages. So we keep these two pieces off, so you can see the size of these just from the top. That will give us a little bit of extra light when we spin it around. Now with regards to the wings, lots of bits and pieces move with these. Yes, I know the minifigures are in the way. This is a big table, but this is a big set. So you have got the option with the flaps on the side to open them up and do what you want with the bottom one, and again with the top one. Now the top one is on a the bottom one will move. The top one is on a permanent stiff joint, so that is stuck to that angle. It was very clever actually how you put this top wing in and how you built that bit in on the side. So you've got a little bit of flex on here, but that doesn't actually move at all. But the bottom one you can shut, open, or open up massively. Now there is an air brake as well. So the air brake is, I think, on the back, which is this bit just down here. So you can then drop that down and do whatever you want. So if you wanted to angle it for photos from the back, you can by just doing that kind of thing. So again, lots of different bits and pieces that you can do. And if we carry on with all the detail, you can see all the different engines and the thrusters and everything on the back, and then you've got all the other bits of clear, and then again you've got some really nice detailing with here, how you end up putting all of those in. It never felt repetitive. It did feel like it was just good enjoyable thing to build. Actually, the bag sizes were perfect for me because I don't really have that much table space, so the bags were decent sizes. Now it might look weird from the back, but these do all open up, so you can pick and you can split it open if you want to, and you can have it displayed like that to make it even bigger, or you can close them together and have them shut. And you can see here, look how that mechanism works on the side. Very, very sturdy as well. Obviously I wouldn't pick it up from that bit, but you've got no problem moving it and closing it because they are in by those two big bits on there, and none of them broke, which is always nice. And from the back you can see now a bit more detail with regards to the lighting. You've got some stickers that are on the side with regards to the computer, and again, if I shut the cockpit, that's what that would look like from the front. So lots and lots going on. Only one or two stickers at the top. We saw the sticker sheet was not exactly massive, but there's only a couple of stickers to add, and I think again they add to it rather than take away. You just got some markings on the side because they're just black stickers with the little bit of orange on. The orange basically matches identically, so which is absolutely fine. So they are identical. That's the word, identically, making up words. But yeah, so they match fine. So it's not like they stand out too much. And again, you've got a lot of detail within here as well, which you won't see obviously if it is completely closed, but if they are open up, you can see these bits here are the roller skate elements that you use for the Winter Village set. So that's always a nice touch. And again, as we spin around, you can just see how wide that thing is. And if we get the air brake down on that one as well, you can see that's what that looks like from the back. So there is a lot going on from this. You can now see just how big that wingspan is on that table. Obviously we will compare this to the Avengers Quinjet and the other bits and pieces that we did compare the Quinjet to as well, but don't know how you display yours. Usually have it completely shut like that. The other nice thing actually is how the engines tier, they drop down. So you can see how you've got one sticking out at the top and the other one a little bit down, and then you have got all the matching detail on this side. But I think it's very, very smart actually. I think it's one of those which it's probably apparently one of the better ones that they have done. I have not really paid attention to this set whatsoever when the other versions have come out, but it is very much a mix of a UCS / playset as such, but there is a lot going on. It's sturdy enough, it weighs quite a bit as well. Yeah, I've got no problem picking this up whatsoever. You can shake this about and do whatever it is you want to do with it. Obviously I wouldn't throw it against a wall, that's not recommended, but it's not going to fall apart because it is so sturdy on the wings with regards to the Technic bits and pieces. Now talking of Technic, actually before we get onto the Technic, the lights, you can see all of the other lights that are underneath. Hopefully they are coming through clearly enough. If I put it that way, there you go, that'd be a little bit better. So you can see the two engines, you've got that is the one bit, that is the other, and then as we come round you've got then three blue elements on that. You've got the smaller one, the square, the smaller one, the bigger one, and then the blue one behind it. And then you've got a little bit of a thruster on the inside just there, and another one underneath that wing. And then obviously it mirrors on there. So you've got a lot of trans blue going on with this. And again, from that coming all the way around. Now, on to the Technic bit quickly. I think this is the only bit that lets it down, is the actual stand. So you have to put the Technic pin holes in the two red and the two grey. When they're in, it is unbelievably sturdy, but to get it back out again, it is a right pain. That's why I've actually done this with it off the stand, whereas the one that you can see in the background over on top of the Daily Bugle, that is just resting in on its sort of shaft on that, so you can take it off easily. But the difference between the two, which we will have a look at in a second, is this one will then spin on its stand, whereas that one is actually stuck and stationary. So this is the stand in question. Now, it is all built up from solid Technic. It's easy enough to put together, nice and simple, nice quick build, but this is the big problem for me. I do not like mixing, and I know it sounds stupid, Technic into Lego. I don't mind doing Technic on Technic, I don't mind doing Lego on Lego, but when you put a Technic piece into a Lego piece, it sometimes ends in tears, which is probably going to do for me now. So what you've got is you've got this pin system where you push these bits in to lock it into place. So if I can do it with the one hand, you can push these in and pull these out. So that is what this bit is designed to do. So I can push these out to lock it in, do whatever it is you want to do, nice and simple. But with this bit, you can see I've got to line up the four holes, which is not that difficult, he says, while trying to look through the camera while trying to do it. There we go. So that sits in, that's absolutely fine. I've just got that resting. Now you've got the two angles that you can pick from. You can have it on the angle like that, or obviously this one does rotate, which is what we will have a very, very quick look at compared to the other one. The other one is just flat or a slight tip, whereas this one does move around. So this actually has the advantage of being able to spin, and you can have it going down that way. That doesn't look too bad, I think. I'll probably display it like that, I would imagine, with it coming down. I would like it maybe a little bit flatter. I think it's leaning for me a little bit too much, only for my own personal display of what I personally want to do with it. But as a display piece on a stand, I think you can get away with it and get some really, really nice photos. So that is how that works. You can see with it all up, that is just a little bit too heavy to keep that open because of the gravity on the stand. If I do get you right up, can I lift this up and will that bit stay up? Yes. So if you want to have it as a photo, you can just keep that bit up on the stand if you want to. I'm sure you'll be able to modify it ever so slightly to keep this bit open if you want to, because obviously that is the whole point of all the little bits and pieces. Now, getting it back off, I did actually try and start the video, I'm not going to lie, with it on the stand to show you with all the minifigures underneath it, because I thought, well, it looks nice and impressive on the stand. And I could, look, it swallows it basically, so you've got to be careful when you get it off the stand, because the other one would have just slid straight off. Now this is obviously an older, this is slightly older compared to the other one. So if I think I've got the right way to do it now, if I hold it from the bottom and then pull the stand from the twizzly bit, That is so tight. There we go. So that's how you got to do it without breaking it off, because I did actually pull one of the bits and one of the bits came off. So if it does look like there's a if it does look like there is a bit missing from here, it is because this bit here, I can't figure out where that bit goes. So if you have seen that, let me know in the comments, because I'm going to be hunting that bit down for ages, because that's the bit that fell off when I tried to take it off the stand the first time. So if you are going to try and rip it off the stand, I recommend holding the stand from here and then lifting it up from the bottom. Moving on to the minifigures, we'll start with him. So we have got Chris Pratt himself. You have got a double face on here, so you've got his grumpy face, and then you've got his happy face, and you've got his two blasters as well. Torso print is not too bad, it's just his red suit. No print on the legs, but he has obviously got his boots on there, and he hasn't got any print on the back. But he has got a nice little bit of detail on the back. That squint on his eyes is pretty cool, actually. But you can see how he's got his double guns. I think you do get a spare blaster as well, which is always nice to see. And then he's got his slightly different coloured hair to what I've got him in another set. I've got more of a blondie hair for some reason. So it seems to be that I've got him in multiple hair colours and multiple things now. But as a figure alone, I think it looks really, really smart. It does not come with his helmet, but then he didn't wear the helmet on that ship in this scene. Moving on to Thor. Now Thor I was quite surprised with, only because it came with this weapon. I did completely forgot that he had this one by this part of the film, so this is the first time of me seeing his new weapon. He has got the exact same eyeballs on this one that comes with the set for the Quinjet. So that's I think they've just used the same head from this one to the other. But when we do a full comparison video, we'll have more of a look on that one. So keep your eyes peeled for that in a week or two. But as a torso, it looks really nice. And he's got his longer hair on this one as well. And obviously, he's just got his nice red cape. And on the back, talking of cape, he's got a nice print on the back of him. You can see all the silver and everything on there. So we are spoilt for choice with regards to all the Thors and all the other minifigures that we are getting currently. Now moving on to Mantis. Now Mantis, I think, again, has the same hairpiece as she does on the Quinjet, I think. And if you want to, you can. There we go. It was almost pulling her head off because it's got such good suction. You can see she has got a dual face as well. Really nice print on the front. It's a really nice green. I don't think it gives it justice actually coming through the camera, because what they've done is right above the belt buckle, just on the inside to the left on both sides, they've added in a really nice blue with a black behind it. So it looks really, really smart on that. But again, you can pick and choose what facial expression that you want to have, and then you can just plonk her head back on, and then you are good to go. Rocket. This is the first Rocket that I've got. I think he looks really, really smart. This is obviously his, I'm trying to think what part of the film he wore this suit in. You have got a one solid mold, and then you have the bit on the outside. So you can see you've got this bit that comes over the top, and then you've got the tail that tucks in and over. So you've got his teeny little legs, and then his head is just the one mold. And yes, he does have his absolutely enormous weapon, which again, I'm trying to visualize when he had this on, because obviously they split up and then they got back together when Thor went off and did his bits and pieces, and they came back. So I can't visualize when they are all together, unless it's just before they split. That might be when it is of the film, because obviously they split the crew into two, which is why I did not want him. I would rather have had Big Dave himself, which meant it would have been perfect to split the teams up into two. This one is just a standard fig that's been coming in quite a few of the sets. Does look impressive. You've got a nice head print, as you can see, and again, on the front you've got the nice blue, and you're coming through and you've got all the bits and pieces and the detail on the chest, and you've got a good facial print on that. And then as we come through, again, he's just got his plain trousers, and then he's got his weapon just on the side. Then you've got Groot. Now I think they've all slightly different styles of Groots. This one on the back has a little bit more green and a little bit more plantation coming through. You've got all of the sort of, I guess it's the vines on the back coming through as well. Trousers on the back is nothing. Lots of print on the front, including his sort of toes all the way through his knees onto his thighs. And then you've got lots of different bits and pieces going on with his chest. And his head on this one has a little bit of the greenery on the top. And that is just obviously one big noggin that he's got on there. So just to compare the size of this set, what I've done, I'm going to use the new Indiana Jones plane like I did on the last one, and just look how much bigger this thing is compared to this plane. It is absolutely enormous. So you're gonna have to make sure that you've got some good shelf space for that. It is a big thing. Obviously this is a really good size scale plane, and I think it works really, really well on there. with the ships, if you were to dangle both of these off the ceiling, it wouldn't look out of proportion. Again, with the car, that was touching the wing on the Avengers Quinjet. This is now just up to the nose, and it's absolutely nowhere near the wing. Obviously, it does depend on how you spin it around on the stand. Talking of the Quinjet, there it is, next door to this thing. I think they both look absolutely fantastic side by side. Obviously, I'm going to have them display completely differently, but I think they both aren't too far away from each other. Now, obviously, I will do a full comparison, but this is how easy this is to get off the stand. You can see the difference between the two. I plonk that on top. Obviously, the wings on that one are bent down. If we got the wings out to the side on that one, again, that's how easy that is to do. We're not too far off. We're not too far off. It's both very, very, very impressive. They're just slightly different shapes, but there's a lot of detail going on for both. Obviously, this one takes up more wingspan. It's just slightly longer on the outer edges, but it's very, very nice. They're both great looking ships, and again, like I said, the stand on this one is not too bad at all. I am only doing that with one hand, and that is in. So that's how those two looked side by side. Let us know in the comments below which one you prefer, if you've got either of them, and how you display yours. I think we'll start to wrap it up there, but you can see that's what it all looks like on the stand and how it looks like together. I think it's very, very impressive looking thing. But like I said, let me know in the comments below if you've got it. Let me know how you display it and what you think of it. But if you think they come in the right minifigures, again, let us know. You're happy with the accessories and everything like that. But guys, that is it. I am done. Hope you found it useful and helpful. Any questions I can help you with, just let me know in the comments below and I will do my best to help. But if you can like, subscribe and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care and I hope to catch you in the next one. Ta-da.